Okay, there we go. Now
So I just posted the most recent pictures of that foot, which he still has more heel to grow in, but
okay. Yeah, I'd like to see it. It's been a while since I saw it. Where'd you post it at?
Yeah. Same place, mentor education page.
Okay, let me refresh.
But this is the horse that had the shoulder problems. His shoulder kept rolling out where his elbow ties in. His elbow was tied in really tight to his rib cage, and his I think it's the ulna. Anyway, he had really big problems with that shoulder, and he doesn't have those problems anymore because his foot is starting to correct. I rode him yesterday for about 10 minutes, and we walked about 7 minutes, and I pushed it, and I did a left turn and I did a right turn because he couldn't make a right hand turn to save his life, even in a 20-acre field. I tried.
Yeah, because it's his foot hurt.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that back then.
Yeah.
So then I asked him for a trot, and then he shut down and went frozen as a statue on me. I said, okay.
He said, nope, I'm not going to do
obviously, I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Well,
but I've got all the, if you look at my tendons and my legs, you can see that I've got the stress off of the tendons. And we're getting there. We're getting there. Its tendons can still take a long time to 3 months to heal. Can you see the pictures yet?
Yeah. Aren't they on the screen?
I got to get back to Zoom. I was on Facebook. Sorry.
Yeah, see,
I was ahead of you.
Heels are still pretty contracted, but his foot has gotten bigger, I think. But I think also you need to
thank you.
Clean up the sulcus of this frog more, and that his feet need to be soaked in water. So that it engorges that frog. Yeah. Well, that frog has to be really kept fresh. I mean, you ain't got a lot of frog there, but you got to get that central sulcus cleaned out as much as possible and get some water to it so it will engorge and push those heels apart and start growing frog stay in between those bulbs. Okay. That's the only thing that's going to separate that. Now you've really got the bars down good, because remember how thick and heavy they were? Are you there?
And look how straight, Huh? I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh, sorry, I talked over you.
Oh,
I just wanted to point out the fact that I've got the frog straight now.
Yep, it looks good.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello? Tammy?
So, okay, so my bar said we're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Are we going back and forth like this?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good.
Reminds me of that
I snorted.
Insurance commercial.
With a little boy. Are we there yet? Are we there?
Yeah, this foot looks a lot different. You know, I want to look at, I want to see something. Let's see. Let's look at the back. Oh, I'm downloading it so that I can open it up. Open. Do you have a good side view?
On the most recent, it would be the picture of the two legs.
Okay.
That's now, with those two pictures.
The one thing I would say is this frog back here is, clean that out as much as possible and trim that down as much as possible too, because if the frog gets petrified, and this is something I'm really glomming onto in the last couple months, if the frog gets any kind of petrified at all, it will bind and hold the foot right where it's at. So you have to keep fresh, good frog growing. And so You gotta keep it trimmed up really good and keep this part right here. You know, can you see my little hand?
You want me to trim that out?
Yes.
I can. You want me to trim that out?
Yes. Yes.
Isn't that his frog stay coming in?
No, not quite. No, it's got to be fresh. Let me show you a fresh frog, okay? Let's see here. Where should I? My recent trim on Valor. Now, I had not trimmed him in 6 weeks at least, but he had the most wonderful fresh frog. It was just awesome. Just a minute here. Oh, where are we at? Up-to-dum-to-dum. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay. So, let me put that down here. Okay, just a second here. Okay, see that? See how it's not petrified and brown and not even on my black feet. See, you want that frog fresh, growing fresh, and not petrified. And then in water, you know, soaking them, things like that, because the frog will enlarge. You know, water helps them frogs grow. And, you know, keeping the foot clean, getting that frog to really grow. See there?
Okay.
See how it's all live, fresh frog? And I just barely trimmed anything.
Well, I need to go turn him out. It just rained.
Yeah. Yeah, see, and ultimately the central sulcus is supposed to be full, but there is supposed to be an indentation there. See, but he hasn't got anything in there. So let me go back here. Where are you? Let me get the other one up there too. Okay. Okay, yeah, anything, see, I can look at that and tell it's petrified, you know? So, and you haven't got a lot of frog, but you need to keep it refreshed, and so it will grow. You know, you don't want it getting hard and calloused, and because that'll keep it from growing. Over here, it looks like you have quite a bit of periopal there. Maybe you really need to make sure your grooves are, well, you're doing pretty good. They're pretty cleaned out, but see how your heels point in right there? They should be clear over here on each side. Let's see, just a minute.
I know.
The annotate. So
still waiting for him to decontract some more.
Yeah, really working on that frog, keeping it clean, getting these, you know, letting this part, you've got to trim this part of this periopal out right here. See, right here? That periopal has to come out.
Yeah.
Okay, it's already kind of out over here. That's kind of blurry. See, your frog
kind of goes. But my heels are growing like from that area right there.
Right here?
See those tubules? See how rough it looks up at the top?
Yeah.
That's all coming from underneath.
Okay. Well, it's okay. You can clean out this periopal right here. Look at how you got it over here. You got it clear down. And you can see the heel.
But right I didn't do that. That's doing itself.
Okay, well then you can come over and do this side too. See, imitate this side. Come over here and trim this frog down, okay, and trim this periopal out right here and define your heel here so you can see it like you can this one. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, look, just a minute. Let's go back here. Let's see. I mean, let's see. Stop. Just a minute. Okay, see how I take that all the way down to the very, really clean out that collateral groove and way down to the bottom there as far as I can take it. See there,
Yeah.
so that the heels are up. Let me go back here so you can look at the, see how that's cleaned out, clear down there so that the heels are free. Okay, if you leave that hardened periopal and hardened frog on there, it will just bind the heels together. See,
okay, well, I'm going to trim it out.
There, see there? See, I got an inch, from here to here, I got an inch of heel. From here to here, and then from here to here, about an inch of bulb. You know, but yeah, I'm finding this is very, very vital to trim all this out as much as possible, because otherwise, and especially if it gets dry, it'll just hold the foot there forever.
But this picture right here doesn't have a frog stay, right?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me show you. Yeah, he's got a great frog stay. Yeah. Let me find a better picture. Okay, let me draw it for you. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Oh, it's laying down.
No, you see right here?
Yeah.
That's
but it looks like it's
stay.
Underneath the foot. Well, my phone's
well, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to really stick out like, well, no, ultimately, no. Let me show you another picture. Now, on my mare, it did come out the back like that because she had contracted heels.
That's what I was thinking about your other mare.
Yeah, she had contracted heels. That was when we were first learning about a frog stay. Since then, I've seen it a lot. It's a lot different. You know, now, his are not totally finished. I'm going to show you several frog stays. Just a minute here. We're all done. Okay, this is the one I like the most. Just a second here. We'll look at well, let's look at Valor's front feet. Is they're even a little different yet? Well, pictures. Okay, well, this is back in 11. So let's see what this one looked like. Just a minute here. Okay, so this one is a little different than the one in the back. The back, and it seems like the back ones are wider. Molly's were a lot wider. Well, her heels were contracted anyway. That's why they're so wrinkled looking. But hers were a lot wider. Okay, his isn't quite as wide here. When it's whatchamacallit, full of water and stuff, it gets real wide. But I want to show you the front frog stays on this other horse, which I think they are kind of the way it's really supposed to be. Let's see, where would those pictures be? Okay, let's see. Oh, that's the pictures. Just a second. Okay, here he is. Here he is. No, that's not it. Okay. Okay, look at this one. Let me annotate that one. Okay, that one is like this.
Yeah, I think this is what I guess I had in mind.
see his heels right here? If I was to take out the frog down to the bottom of collateral groove, it'd be about there.
Okay.
So here's his frog stay. Look how wide it is. And see, that's what keeps the heels apart. Right there. You see? So when they get contracted, it's a lot narrower. And of course, all these horses that we
really
trim,
narrow.
yeah, real narrow, you know, because just a minute, clear all drawings. I mean, that's like awesome. You know, it's like, that's what I want. See, look at the frog, you know, just massive. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, but when we look at just a minute here, when we look at a foot, and we got to keep coming back to the internal foot. Just a minute here. Pictures. Section. Okay. Okay, so this foot is dried out, but this is a front and a back foot. Look, now that foot is all dried out, but you know, that grows from between there, right? And that's what spreads your bulbs out.
Right.
But, you've seen her front foot, but look at her back foot. This was a back foot, and the frog stay was totally different on that. See how nice and white it was? See?
Yeah.
Now that foot was all dried out. Boy, I wish I could get my hands on some more feet. So if anybody has a horse that passes away and you want to send me their feet, I'll make you plaster casts and everything. If you don't want to dissect them, I will. That seems cruel and heartless, but it's not. We need these feet. These feet are vital, you know. Let's see here, just a minute. Oh, look for something else. Okay. Okay, that's still, yeah. See, now I really know how to do the dissections. Now, I wish I would have known more because I'd have had all my feet preserved. Okay, this is the one. See there?
Yeah, that's what I keep trying for.
Yeah, okay, so now you know, see what I mean? It's so important for us to know, you know, what are we going for? Where are we supposed to be going? You know, now I didn't realize at the time, you see all these, how it's all these little wrinkly things here?
That's what why I'm afraid to cut it out.
Yeah, no, that's because her heels were still contracted and her heels were not fully finished yet. I thought they were, but they weren't. And I found out since then with Valor how his foot has expanded. You know, that, I mean, if you look at her foot, let's go here. Okay, see how the cartilage was still bent down and under? See, her true foot would have been out like this, you know, but I didn't know that at the time. And so her heels had been so contracted, and a lot like your horse's foot with real heavy bars and stuff like that. But this much had been restored, and so we were still at a place here not really knowing what the true foot of the horse was. You know, since then, Valor, I mean, the whole back of his foot erupted, you know, and got huge and stuff. So yeah, so different, totally different kind of frog stay there. See?
Okay.
Now you can imagine if his heels were contracted, what grows the frog stay is still there, right? So this would be all like kind of wrinkled like hers was.
Right.
You know, but I didn't know that. This is all stuff I've learned since, you know. So that's good we talked about that so that you can.
Well, I'm going to go, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to turn him out. I'm going to go to the barn right now because it was raining a while ago and I had to feed him. So I put him up so I could feed him.
Yeah.
But now I'll turn them out because it's all soaking wet out there.
And see, now I use that D.F. Crosley stuff on all these frogs. These horses here, I don't trim but every 8 or 9 weeks, you know, and I trim up the frog good and use that D.F. Crosley's stuff. And I mean to tell you, it puts a good frog on a horse.
I need to order some of that.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I know this. So see where you see really some of them really sticking out, that's actually where they're stripped out and scarred weird and growing weird. You know, ideally they should be growing between the bulbs just like that.
Yeah, support.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me. How often do you put that DF stuff on?
I put it whenever I trim.
So just like once every so often.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if your frogs are really bad, you could do it, you know, once every couple weeks. But
it's not like a daily thing.
No, not at all. And the main thing is that you get your heels growing, so it gives the frog corium room to grow some frogs. See, that's the big problem that's been going. You know, like say something happens and this horse decides to shed this frog for some reason or the other. Then that whole back of the foot's going to be open there. And then somebody comes along and says, oh, gee, I need to lower the heels to the frog. But I've shown that when the pastern descends, it actually pushes the frog to the ground. So you don't need to have a frog that's clear up here. You actually need them to have some room in there, you know, to have some give. So when the foot comes down, it's, you know, it's got some give in it. What is that? Somebody's not muted and making funky noises.
I think Tammy forgot to mute.
Oh.
Tammy put her phone in her purse because she was going to go let the horse out of the barn.
Okay.
And she turned the mute off. Oh, God.
Why would that frog all of a sudden just come out?
Well, you know, something can happen. I don't know why, but it does. It does. It happens. I've seen whole frogs shed off, you know, and then if the frog was not real healthy and it got some thrush, a lot of times they can get a layer of thrush or bacteria underneath that'll eat away and it'll look totally normal on the surface. But underneath it's eaten away and then it'll just all come off and it'll grow a new frog. See?
What happens to the heels if that comes out? Will the whole foot just collapse again?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, let me show you my horse because see right now I keep all this trimmed out of my horse. I don't let the frog connect to the heel because I'm wanting the whole foot to expand and the heels to all come in the way they're supposed to. So I don't let the periopal and the frog connect to the heels like what you see here, because ultimately that's what it does. The heel starts growing right here, and then the frog is growing right here, and the frog corium extends over to the heel, and as the heel grows, the frog is attached to the heel. And so I cut that out right now because my foot isn't where I want it to be. And so if you have, you know, this can really dry out and really get tough. And so it'll really bind your heels up to where they won't expand and grow back in like you want them to. Just a minute here. I'll show you. Now the mare that was with this horse, she lost the whole frog. She lost both frogs on the front feet. And she's done that to me several times. You know, why she does it, I don't know. But horses have been known to shed the whole frog, and then they'll just grow a brand new one. I don't think it happens all the time. It's never, ever happened on my horses here because I keep the frogs trimmed up, you know. So let's see, let me find a picture. Oh, okay. Okay, now see, this frog here could attach to the heel just like that other horse, but I don't want it attaching to the heel yet. I want to keep this all trimmed out so I know exactly how much heel I've got and what's everything that's going on back here, so that you see how this is curved down like that. That will still come up to be more straight across here. This heel's still coming in. It was very asymmetrical and run forward. Now it's coming back and standing up more. So, you know, let me get that other foot over here just to comparison. This is the difference here. Besides this horse having like super amazing frog stay that just blows me away. Valor's foot being bound and the back of the foot, you know, all being trimmed out. Now the heels are coming in and everything's pushing up inside the foot and the whole frog is moving because the whole frog corium gets pulled down under the foot. And what has happened to his frog in the last 6 months is that thing has just decided to totally stretch out and go back to where it used to be. And so his frog is going through a lot of changes, but ultimately, when everything's said and done and the foot expands and I allow this frog skin to grow and to connect to the heels, it will be just like this. See, but right now, all this is healing in here from having been pulled under. See, no, look at the difference here in this horse right here. He doesn't have hardly any of this going on where it's pulled down and under. You know, he's got really just a really nice foot in back. And so ultimately, you know, I'm hoping for something very similar here.
All right, back up on Valor's foot. You're going to let it fill in eventually?
Yeah.
Like the white one, and stop trimming that corner out?
Yeah. Yeah, once the foot gets to where I know it has totally expanded to where it's supposed to be and the cartilages have all raised and the coronary band is just right back here and the whole heel buttress is right and the frog is right, then yeah, I'll let this frog grow and attach to the heels like it is here. Like I could come in here and I could cut all this out and make it look just like this. But here's the thing, even like this, what happens is when the pastern descends down, this frog stay will descend down to the ground too. And it's actually higher. The frog is this high, see, next to the heel. So it's not that low. And have you watched those videos I've done of how the frog stay works?
Yes.
See, so you see how you need some room for that to descend down a bit. And I'm pretty sure too, that's why you have this central sulcus here. You know what I mean? Because that gives that some room to open, that gives that, as it's pushed down, gives it some room to kind of spread apart and go down. You know what I mean? Instead of just flat.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought of that because, you know, I'm learning as I go. Sorry, but that's the way it's been ever since I started this deal. So still learning more, you know.
That horse I sent you the pictures of this week, that has the Alp like frogs. They're like hard as a rock.
Yeah.
They're real pointy. They're real thin. They're like a rock.
Yeah.
Do you want to trim, even though there's hardly anything there, do you need to trim the tops of that off to get it growing? There's like nothing there, but the little bit that's there, it's so skinny, so contracted, but it's hard as a rock.
Mm-hmm. Can I look at that picture again to refresh my memory?
It's on my phone.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, and I'm on the computer. Let's see. How do I get it from my phone to the computer?
Send it in a message to Linda.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Or you can just post it to the Facebook page.
Now, is that your horse?
No, remember I told you it's my friend's horse?
That's right.
The one that the farrier is coming tomorrow.
Oh.
You know, hey.
Yeah.
What can I say?
What can you do, you know? You know.
Okay. Let me see
I
if I can.
told you what you could do, but.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's still not my horse, so I just sent it to you on Messenger.
I know you can't do anything. That's what I meant. You can't do anything. Let's see
if you get it.
Okay, just a second here. I forget where I'm at and what I'm doing. Escape. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and is this the same horse?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
a
him.
bad deal here. They got a bad deal. And a farrier in the end. Well, who knows? He might, you know, I'm not going to say never.
No. But I'm just like looking at this frog and it's like, it's hard as a rock. It's razor blade thin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, do you trim off the top of it and try to get to fresh stuff? And I don't know. Or do you just leave it be because there's like nothing there?
There's nothing you can really do. What you would do is treat that frog. You would trim off, you know, any little tags and stuff, but then you would have to treat it with that stuff that I use, that DF Crosley's. That's what I would use on it.
Yeah, that's what I've got to get some. The stuff he's been using that makes it purple.
Mm-hmm. You know,
really dry.
Really dries it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And DF Crosley's doesn't dry it out at all.
But like on a hoof like this, then how often do you think you should put it on when you have one this messed up?
This is about the same, because what's going to happen, you can't really do anything until you get some of that unbinding, you know, like those bars have to be trimmed a certain way so that the foot will start releasing him back.
Mm-hmm.
And then the heels coming in, because what happens is the bulbs and everything get pulled in and it strips the frog out of the foot. So the frog is stripped out from between the bulbs because of what's going on with the heels.
And the apex of the frog, I can peel that back with just with my fingers at least a 1/4 inch or more without even using a knife.
Yeah, well, then that could probably be even taken off, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I just wasn't messing with it yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, you know, and stuff. So what have they said about any of that stuff you've sent them? Oh,
well, he's like, you know, what is it called? Between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to fire the farrier yet. The farrier's coming tomorrow. He wants to see, quote unquote, what the farrier says versus what we've told him.
Yeah.
And, you know, to see how, if they agree, they don't agree, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. See, what I would do with this foot is, let me get this bigger and turn it around. There we go. Okay, first of all, I would come in here and map this foot, and I would take this bar down lower than the heel. Right in here. I really clean this area up and take these bars back straight so that, and then start growing these heels.
Now, when you say take the bars back straight, I've often wanted to ask you about this. When you have bars that like kind of bow out, kind of like a cowboy with knock knees. When you say straighten it out, I mean, as you trim the bar, like just take a knife to it and come down this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to straighten it out, but it's going to make it lower.
Yeah, it's going to make it lower.
But it's still going to be bowed out and in an irregular shape.
Yeah, but still, as much as possible, you want to trim them to make them look straight like this, because that starts setting a boundary for them. If you start setting boundaries, what I've found, if you start setting some general boundaries for these feet, they'll start following it. Let me get a copy.
I'm doing that on my gelding, but you know, he's got a hell of a lot more frog than this.
Yeah. Well, this horse's frog is stripped out, and he's not going to get any more frog until these heels come clear back here. See, his heels are up here, and they're supposed to be back here. And then all of this would unroll and go back up to the top of the foot, behind the foot. What you got is you got what should be behind the foot, under the foot.
Right.
See, and so the frog stay should grow from here, but if, let's say, if we can pull all that up behind the foot where it's supposed to be, see, and then you could grow some frog. So the idea is to start getting these heels to come back in again.
Okay, on either side of the frog and the sulcus, I bet you it's at least an inch and an inch a quarter deep.
Yeah, yeah.
And then is that all of that just fill in sole, fake stuff on the sides, filling it in that much?
Yeah. Yeah, it would all be fake. When the foot is that trimmed out and the heels and everything that pulled under and in when the foot, then you've got a fake sole, you know.
Do you just leave that be for now?
You know, yeah, probably, you know.
Because that's about all he's got to walk on.
I've taken it out, you know, on my pony, but let's see, what am I doing? Okay, I wanted to.
It's like if you take it out, is he going to be more lame, more sore? You know.
Well, here's the thing, that the back, this will fill in, and it's not even their real foot. It's not even the real bars. Nothing back here is genuine. What's happened is, as the foot has been being pulled under and the capsule's been getting smaller, the person trimming is still trimming like it's like the foot is right here. You know what I'm saying? Like when in reality, the real foot's crammed up under there somewhere. And this is all fake. This is all not even real. You know, it's overgrowth. And so if you were to really trim these bars down, you find he don't have no bars because the bars were clear back here. Okay, so this is just fake, bent, distorted, weirded out, overgrown bar that looks like bar but isn't. And fake heels and everything on this foot is fake, fake, fake.
So if I were to trim like from where it says the L back and clean some of that out and lower the bars, would it make him more sore more than likely?
You know, I don't know, maybe for a couple weeks if he was kept in. And then the foot established itself and started, you know, coming back in, he'd get better. Let me see here. I was gonna, okay.
It's almost like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, but you've got to do something, you know. See, because his foot ain't right? So you got to expect that once you start opening this up, who knows, things are going to happen, you know. But you got to have patience with the horse and let him heal up and let him grow some foot. As long as you keep it like this, he will never grow that foot back.
True.
You know, let me go back here. What am I doing there?
I mean, I've seen him contracted and screwed up before. I think this is the worst one I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's been trimmed into having a club foot, you know. Let's see here. So just
well, the farrier just told him point blank that the horse was just a club-footed horse.
Yeah, well, not necessarily, you know, I mean, but
his pasterns his pasterns are not very upright.
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, he looks like if his foot was straightened out, he'd be fine.
Yeah, he would. You know,
I tried to explain to him what a pastern would look like on a very club foot. I said he might be a tad bit club, but he's not a true club foot.
Yeah.
In terms of the pastern and the bones. And the vets are high and we got to x-ray it and we got to this and we got to that. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, whatever. They're just, they don't know what they're doing.
I tried to explain to them that vets don't get a whole lot of training on this.
They don't.
In school, because everyone thinks that vets know these feet. And I'm like, they get minimal training at school on feet.
They don't know jack.
It's very minimal. I've talked to the vets. I'm like,
But the thing is, even if they get training, it's all an error. I mean, look at that big crack there. See?
Yep.
So this is a big foot crammed into a little tiny capsule. That's all that's going on here. And so, yeah, you would have to trim out all this frog here. See this? There's more frog to trim here than what you think. And you'd have to find the heels. See, if I was to show you my pony, who I trimmed the heels out of her. I can show you the whole progression of everything that happened. And she got a big old laminar wedge in the toe. At one point, she had a can foot, and I thought she was going to knuckle over. Her foot has had every shape you could possibly have, and now, finally, the back of her foot is starting to unroll, and it's like, wow, and she's going sound. But this, yeah, there is some frog here that can be trimmed. This would have to this hair should all be cut off so you can really see the foot, Oh
yeah, we kept playing hold the hair for the pictures.
Yeah, it all needs to be cut off so you can see the foot and the foot washed,
Oh, well, we couldn't get into the wash stall that day. This was as best we could do.
Yeah. Let's see.
Is that a mini or is that a...
Oh, no, this is a 16 one-hand, 1,200-pound Tennessee Walker.
Holy moly.
Poor guy.
We just did the new calculation on the weight tape where you take the length and the girth and you do this math and blah, 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 because they're going to worm him. And he's at least 16'1", and he's gorgeous animal. Gorgeous animal, sweet as can be, but he's got these feet.
Oh boy. Well, they saw them coming, didn't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, he was free,
Yeah, he was free. Okay. Poor guy. These poor horses, they just don't deserve this crap,
Well, the previous owner, was just like, oh, he's perfectly fine, but she was clueless.
Yeah. Well, they don't know. People don't know. I didn't know. I mean, I had a little knowledge, but so now you've got all these people that think they know and don't, which is even worse.
Well, that's what's happening with the barn owner right now. He's really throwing his weight around with what he thinks he knows.
Yeah.
It's becoming very uncomfortable right now.
See, I think that's spiritual.
That's why we were outside. I just didn't even go in the barn that day. I was just like not in the mood.
These people get weird like it's a religion. They get weird like it's a religion.
Oh, we need bar shoes and we need x-rays and whatever.
It is a religion to a lot of these people. Whenever it's not science and true fact, then it turns into kind of a religion for people. To where it's just a belief, they don't have any proof. It's just stuff
they do it based on what they've seen on all the other horses, and they're all kept shod.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a problem, slap a shoe on, and they're not sore anymore, and that's how you fix it.
Yeah. Okay, so.
But anyway.
Oh goodness me.
But thank you.
Okay, I wanted to map this foot just to kind of show. Of course, what happened to it? There it is. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of map this foot. Let's go with blue. Well, I think you're doing a great job helping her, you know. Okay, so this bar would have to be brought down to here. Now, probably you could take this whole bar down to here, and this is what you're going to see. Wait a minute. Okay, if you were to really trim this bar, you wouldn't have any bar. You'd have like this. Do you see what I'm saying? The bar would be right here. That'd be where that bar is right now, is right there. Because the true heel is clear back here.
It crumbles when you touch that right now. It just crumbles like chalk.
Because here is where the true bar is supposed to be. Right here. See?
Mm-hmm.
So the heel has moved up like this. And so you're just going to have, if the bar corium is right here, right? And the heels have moved up to here, well, they've covered up the bar corium, right?
Yeah.
You know, and the whole foot is bent, and that's why it's so deep right in here in the collateral grooves.
Oh, it's deep.
Yeah.
It's scary deep.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I went to put cotton in it last night, and I'm like, oh, let's see, maybe 3, 4, 5 cotton balls, maybe. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, because the whole foot is bent around and down under and shoved into this teeny tiny capsule. And this is from the way somebody's trimmed them over the years, and it's just turned into this. That's all it is. This ain't natural.
Well, I know.
You know? Yeah. And
so I was just trying to figure out, do you just clean the frogs up for now, treat them, and let the rest of it just go for now and see if it breaks up on its own? Or you just start trimming the false bars out a little bit, lowering all that, cleaning it, and getting all that crumbly, decrepit stuff that it's just falling out.
Yeah, clean up that whole back of the foot, clean up the, you know, because
it's going to lower everything when I do that in the back.
Well, it won't necessarily lower it, you know. What it'll do is you'll just have this, but it'll be all cleaned up. You know, once you open all this up and clean up that periopal, see, once that foot gets bound and that periopal band shrinks, it'll hold the foot right there like a belt. See, that's why we trim the periopal and the frog so much, to release this foot here. I mean, over here, look here, you can see what happens to these feet. You know, see how that gets pulled under there. Now that's not, well, he's got something similar to this. Look how deep that would be right there. See what I mean?
He's a little one tonight.
Hello? Who's that?
Not me.
Somebody is not muted. It's Diane. We'll have to mute her. I think it was Diane.
Nope.
Okay,
it's not me. I'm muted. I'm muted. It's I
think it's Jolene.
Ah, Jolene. Okay. Okay, you see the way this foot is bent here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't be quite that bent, but that's what's going on with it. See?
Yeah.
And that's why, see, when you got this here, that makes it real deep under there. See? But this is what he's got in there. That's his real foot right there. But
well, the one on the left again where the toe is like straight down, isn't that a little extreme, kind of?
Well, I'll show you here. Oh, no, look, right here. See it? That's not extreme at all. There's the coffin bone. Here's the coffin bone here. Here's the coffin bone right there. See, it's that much worn off. I was just showing you how much the foot is bent right here, and over time, how much of the coffin bone wore off right here. See it?
Damn.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? You can imagine, so here's a digital cushion, And so this wall starts going that way, and then this toe starts aiming down that way, and then it just squeezes all this part of the digital cushion up into here, like so. Now,
Is that what causes almost like the navicular that you keep saying?
Well,
I swear most navicular is created by the farrier. I really think that.
Oh yeah, I think so too, by trimming out the heels.
Because I'm looking at the navicular bone.
Yeah. Well,
all of that's moving.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and then when you trim out the heels and set everything down, and there's no frog. So when you trim these heels out, it strips this frog stay out and the frog out of the foot.
Right.
Okay. And so then you're setting them down, and there's no support for this digital cushion. And so the digital cushion is what helps, cushion the navicular bone.
Correct.
So yeah, So anyway, okay.
So much navicular is on tiny feet. Like smushed, compressed, bound feet.
Yeah.
The more I look at horses that have quote unquote navicular.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's just, they've been doing this for centuries. It's been happening for centuries, but it's worse now with barefoot trimming. Because they have wanted to force feet to look just like Jamie Jackson's wild horse foot. And that horse had worn its heels out. And so all the trims are based on forcing the feet to look like that. Isn't that nuts?
Well, especially on one foot.
Yeah. What?
Just on basing it on a foot.
I know, it's crazy, but it's the truth. See, it's bizarre. It's the truth, though. I'll show you. Let's see. Let's see.
I told him this horse will never have, good feet, but he'll be a lot more sound if we carry through with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's just too much damage done now.
Yeah. Could be, we don't know yet what can happen, to restore these horses' feet.
I think he's 12.
Uh-huh. Well, he's still, see, what a shame. Just a young horse. Well, there's horses dying and suffering and being tortured all over the place by well-meaning barefoot trimmers and farriers. It's just, that's what's happening. It's the truth of what is happening. Okay, so where am I going here? Go there, go down here, go to the W's. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so here's all my collection of wild horse hooves. Like, look here. There's a wild horse hoof. This was a wild horse on a reservation up in Washington. Let's look at wild horse hooves. Let's just do that. Okay. There's another one. See the image? There's another one. That's a zebra. Somebody took these pictures. Okay, here is the foot they base every trim on, right here. Here you see it has no frog and no sole. These are about, the way I've got them on my computer, they're about the size they would be if I had them. This is a wild horse hoof that somebody gave this farrier that it was already dried up and everything, and he, dissected it, basically sawed it in half. Okay, and looky there, look at the frog right there, and it's can't really see the sole, but it's got very thick sole ridge there. And look over here, look at the hairline, clear down here to the ground. Look at the hairline up here. See the image? This is the image they have put in everybody's head. Ooh, Mustang roll. You know, does this look like it's got a real heavy roll on it? This foot here? It doesn't, does it? This horse wore his foot out, wore his heels out. This was not anatomically correct. Look at the digital cushion here. It's just right there. Look at the digital cushion here. Because as the frog, as the heels wear out and the frog is stripped out of the foot, okay, to be that, then it pulls and forces that digital cushion down to the ground. It's actually destroying it. See? So this is the industry. Here we go. Wild Mustang hoof, Western United States. There it is. See? That's what, okay, there's more pictures of it there. Now this is not one of those same feet. Look at the frog on that foot. Okay, here's another one, that same wild horse from before. Okay, this is a better wild horse foot here. This horse, okay, see, inferior specimen right there. Here, you got an x-ray of it. Has no soul, no frog. Look at everything's crushed back here. This was a 3-year-old mare in a better environment right here. Wild horse. See the difference? All wild horse feet are created equal when born, but then deform and distort over time depending on the terrain and lifestyle. Therefore, we must choose the correct form if we're going to have a model. But that's still not our model. What's our model is the internal foot of the horse. These horses got the same internal foot. Now here's that same image. Okay, oh, let me show you something here. Under these one files, I got these files I call bad barefoot. Let's see here. Okay, under B, for bad. Bad barefoot. Here we go, the Barefoot Horse magazine. Look, once you've seen healthy, you'll never look at feet the same way again. Unfortunately, that's true. They got us looking at that. Where did they get that? Huh? That 30-degree hairline. This horse, you can guarantee, has a negative palmar angle. This is disgusting. Okay, well, here you go. There we go. Jamie Jackson's one wild horse foot. Now, he helped this gal here to get this foot, and this horse was not sound. And she started growing back the heels, and the horse went sound. See how this foot was made to look exactly like that? When the heels started being restored, the horse started going sound. Here, this is on the net. I found this, you know, I collect all this stuff. This is what somebody wrote. This is a bunch of different quotes. The quintessence, I can't even say that word, of the natural hoof. It says, even though NHC practitioners agree that every hoof is distinctly different, they agree on one model. See the contradiction in this, which they perceive as being naturally perfect. This, quote, is our model. This is a hoof which each horse was born to wear and which is the goal that we gradually work towards. See, they put this image in our, that's what I was doing. I was gradually working towards that goal for 7 years, 9 years, however long it was. The more I work towards this goal, the more healthy and effective they become. That is a lie. At first, it's true, but then it isn't. Many, many horses are suffering and dying because of this ideology. Dr. Rick Redden regarding Jamie Jackson. We will make this model to be the industry standard. See there? From this natural hoof, perfectly adapted to the rough living conditions in the deserts, dry valleys, and mountains of the Great Basin, should be derived the knowledge of how a hoof is built and functions, and thus what the natural trim should look like. So they have us all making our horses' feet look like this. That's why our horses are lame. That's why they have all these different diseases, and they blame it on what your horse is eating. So the concept of hoof mechanism, the blood circulation, and ground parallel coffin bone in the natural hoof, whatever, essentially functions as the criteria against any kind of horseshoeing and the so-called pasture trim. Marjorie Smith. But those instructions, how to trim a hoof, the one and only criteria for trimming is the hoof shape of the wild horse. Okay, I just showed you, this is not the shape of every wild horse. See, they've taken this and they have brainwashed everybody into thinking that this is the shape of the wild horse's foot. And it's not. Is it the shape of some wild horses? Yeah, horses that were in such rugged, horrid, god-awful terrain that they had to, take 20 steps for every bite of grass, and they wore their heels out. Now, I don't remember his name, but the guy with the Swedish Hoof School, he come over here and he went out to Nevada and he filmed these horses limping all over the place. And he actually walks up to one of them and picks up its foot and clicks a picture. Well, then the horse spooked, So, I mean, what you can do to some of these horses is kind of amazing. And the frog was so cracked and dry, and so he thought it had desert thrush, but it didn't have thrush. It just was cracked and dry, and these horses can wear their feet out, So, let's see here. What does it say? NHC practitioners simulate the wear of a wild hoof. That means they trim their heels out. They're trimming their heels out to force them to look just like this. They use this and they make a heavy-duty Mustang roll, which weakens the support of the wall to the sole. And then they over trim the heels to try and force a ground parallel coffin bone. Now, you know what that means? That means that the coffin bone would lie flat, right, in the foot. But I'm going to show you that the coffin bone does not lie flat in the foot. And this has been a debate for a long time. Just a minute here. Where'd I put that? Okay. Go over here to coffin bone. C. Come on. Computer, don't fail me now. There we go. Okay, C-H-C-O-N, coffin bone. Okay, this is a dissection I did right here. Now, I've already shown you pictures of the whole foot, right? We just saw that. Where was it? Okay, right here. See the foot? Look at the bottom of the foot right here. Wait a minute. Look at the bottom of the foot right here. See that? It's flat, right? So it would be, let's say the foot itself is ground parallel. Let's say the foot sets like this, flat. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, now what about the coffin bone that's in the foot? But see, they don't see the horses having a foot. They see the inside of the horse's foot like this. They see a capsule with what looks like parts in it. They don't see it as a foot like this right here. Okay, and that's one of the big mistakes right there. Okay, so, well, if it's like this, then you could arrange it any way you want, you know. But this is the foot. Okay, so now let's, where was I here? See, okay. So now we're going to look at how does that coffin bone set in the foot? Okay, so what I have here, this is, I only removed half of the coffin bone. And then it's covered with skin, with corium, right? And stuff. Then I removed part of that. Now I want to show you how that coffin bone sets in the foot. Now here would be the bottom of that foot. See that? Okay, the cartilage that is in the sole corium and under the foot gets thicker as it goes towards the heel. And so the coffin bone sets like this at an angle. So what would I have to do to a foot to make this coffin bone set level like that? Well, that's what they're doing. I would have to totally trim the heels out and crush all this cartilage in the heel and force this coffin bone to be ground parallel. You understand that? Anybody out there can relate? Can anybody speak to me? How many people I got here? 15? Can anybody tell me they understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay.
Yep, got it.
I do. I absolutely understand what you're saying. That's too good.
Okay.
We're just spellbound.
Okay, so let's go back now. Well, here, let me just go through another few. See how the cartilage surrounds that bone? And all this is cartilage back here. Your whole heel is cartilage. There is no bone there. You know, there we go. There's another picture of it. That's the bone. But the cartilage would go straight like this. So the coffin bone, even though the foot would set maybe ground parallel, the coffin bone does not set ground parallel in the foot. See? But they never look at the foot. They're only looking at x-rays and feet cut in half. See, there's another picture of it. And you can see how thick the cartilage is here in the heel, under here, and how the bone sets at an angle. So again, in order to force this coffin bone to be ground parallel, you have to trim the heels out and crush the cartilage in the heels, which the cartilage in my mare's heels was crushed from me trimming the heels out. So that's another thing you got to think about when you're restoring heels. If you know you really trimmed them out and you really forced that whole 30-degree hairline and ground parallel coffin bone, that your heels are going to be crushed. So you can't really expect your heels not to look a little run forward. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that they're run forward. It's that when you trim the heels out, you crush the heel. The heel should be defined like so. Okay, but when you trimmed it out, you crushed it forward. You know, so that's what I'm dealing with on Valor. I know. I ain't gonna worry about it. So what? You know, this whole thing of run forward heels. Everybody freaking out over that because that's what they put in our head. See? So let's see. Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to what them yahoos were saying. Where is that? Okay, so the one and only criteria for trimming the hoof shape of the the one and only criteria for trimming is the hoof shape of the wild horse. The correct look, or more precisely, the structure of a naturally formed hoof, is the direct result of the wild horse model. And what is the wild horse model? This 1 foot. What a freaking joke. It's a joke. It's a travesty. They should be ashamed. Hopefully they will be ashamed someday. Instead of being famous, they're going to be infamous. Okay? I mean, you know, anybody can make a mistake, right? But this is like over, above and beyond. Stupidity. Okay. Or more precisely, the structure of a naturally formed hoof is a direct result of this 1 foot wild horse model. NHC practitioners that had to pay out the yang to get their certificate in error simulate the wear on a wild hoof, which in return stimulates the natural growing patterns of the hoof. It's a crock. These patterns create the naturally shaped hoof, which is never forced upon the horse. Baloney. Baloney. They've been forcing this on these horses. When we did it, we were forcing that shape on our horses. So, crushing the inner heel, forcing the foot to be ground parallel. Never forced on the horse because it is developed in accordance with the individual appearance and disposition. Oh, bull. Interview with Jamie Jackson. Yeah, full of it. NHC practitioners treat each hoof within the limitations of the individual appearance and simulate the natural abrasion which can be observed in the wild horse country. No, they trim it to look like this and move the foot towards this. I did that to my horse because this was the image they put. Who would ever think that they only used one wild horse? Wouldn't you assume that they had studied a lot of wild horses? Okay, I'm just a moron, all right? All I got's a GED, and I had to cheat on the spelling test to get that, all right? So I'm a moron. I ain't got no academic credentials. I ain't got no certificate. I ain't got nothing, all right? But I know that something's wrong with my horse who is supposed to, because they promise you, oh, yeah, just do this, that, and the other thing, and what Mustang roll, and presto changeo, your horse gonna have feet like a wild horse. Never did, okay? I don't have an education, but I already showed you that I went around the internet and I gathered up some pictures of wild horse feet, right? You know? Anyway, blah, 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 bunch of baloney. Okay, so there's that foot, no frog at all. Heels worn out, digital cushion distorted. Okay, this is how much, here's a wild horse that never wore its heels out. Here's the one that did. This is the one they're forcing every horse's foot to look like. And where is it here? Am I full of crap? No, there you go. The barefoot horse. See? I had Holly wrote me, she's a great member of our group and stuff. She wrote me this morning and said, hey, I was going to talk to these people at the barefoot horse and see if they'd, you know, do an article of yours. I said, they're not going to. And I showed her this. I've had this for a long time. I made this deal, you know. Yeah, beware. That is not what a horse's foot looks like unless it's worn its heels out. Okay, anyway, am I ranting enough for you? but you got to know this stuff. You got to understand some of this stuff. Okay, so this is how much of the foot that horse wore out of his foot, right there. Okay, so, you know, look at this guy. Holy Hannah. He don't have that 30-degree hairline. Look at that. My goodness. And there's nothing wrong with his feet at all. Look at this little filly behind him. You know, this is horses in Utah, wild horses in Utah. Why didn't they use that model? See, I'll tell you why he used one model, because he got Hildred Strasser, a vet, to back him up with her baloney. So anyway, wild horse feet, not all created equal. Say, go back here, look at some more. Yeah, look at that. That's not the same. That doesn't have a 30-degree hairline. You know, that kind of does there. But we can be better than wild. We can be anatomically correct. See, personally, I don't know if I'd want that to be on my horse's feet. Probably some wild horse in Nevada that had to scrub for every little bit of grass he got. See, that's not anatomically correct. And that horse wouldn't have been comfortable. Just because it's wild, don't mean it's correct. See how bad the frogs were? You know what happens? You ever gotten a callus that got so dry it cracked and then it opened up the flesh? That's what happens with these kind of frogs. Just because it's natural, just because it's wild, say, doesn't mean it's right. Now that foot, that was the perfect foot. There you go. There's that frog stay again on that one. Okay, so this was excellent wild horse foot right here. See? Does that look real concave to you? It doesn't, does it? Because he's got a big old thick sole ridge and then the bowl of the sole is filled in. Look at the frog. Look at how the frog supports the back of the foot there. See that? Here's the heel. Look at the frog is sticking clear back here, supporting the foot. Look at that frog. Holy Hannah. Look, does that look overly concave to you? It doesn't to me. This is a correct foot. Again, the mare was only 3 years old, and she was in an environment where she got just enough movement, but she had really good food and just enough moisture. So the perfect specimen. But still, do we go by that? No, we go by the internal foot. So, gosh, that just blows me away, the frog on that foot. Okay, there we go. There's our industry standard. You see how concave it is? Because it's bent. The foot is bent. The heels have been pulled down and under. And when it was pulled down and under, it bent the foot. See, there's that, how they're always saying, oh, there's an arch in the quarter, right? Okay, this is that same foot of a horse that wore his heels out. Okay, so this is that mare's foot again. Look here, here's another wild horse foot. Right there. Here was the hairline. Does that look like it has a 30-degree hairline? Nope. Okay, so that other foot, okay, its heels were wore off clear down to here. There it is again. See, the concavity is false. It's fake. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for this here. You see the sole in that horse? That's what you're looking for. Okay, there we go. that is more of what you're looking for than that thing. See, trimming a horse's foot into that, forcing these horses' foot into that. That we have all been duped, you know, by this baloney. It's just astounding. Anyway, of course, there's that wild horse's foot. You know, been looking at that for 15 years, trying to figure out what was going on. Anyway, so there's your barefoot trimming that we're all led into. Okay. All right, so does anybody have a hoof evaluation they want to do? Now that I'm off my rant. But I'm not on a rant. I'm just telling you the truth of what's going on. It's a travesty, you know, and you have to understand this, you know, how misled we are. And some of these people that are here have heard this before, but some people haven't. So I'll get better at telling the story every time, I think. Okay, so.
Do you mind looking at my horse's frogs? And,
Absolute. Who am I talking to?
Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Oh. Hi.
Okay. Well, okay, so we're going to go to the, are you on the mentor or markups page, or which page you on, dear?
The forum and Facebook.
Okay. Oh my goodness sakes. Let's see. Okay. Okay, well, we'll go to Facebook. Are you on the markups and mentoring page or the mentor page?
The mentor education page.
Okay, we're here.
It's pretty recent posted.
Okay. There you go. Right there, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this is before and this is after. Okay, I see you got your horn tubules marked, and what I see when I look at this is that your bulbs are wanting to break out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Break out?
Yeah, that means your foot is wanting to expand out of that smaller capsule.
Oh, that's awesome.
See this, see how the bulbs look here? Okay, I'm going to show you a picture of Valor's foot. Okay, first of all, when we look at the coronary band groove right here, it should be straight and the same exact width all the way back, like, just a minute here. Okay, coronary band groove is in the hoof capsule right here. Usually you see kind of the periopal over it. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it should go all the way back the same width, but yours does not do that. Yours goes down like this, and then like this. See that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that means that you still have hoof capsule that has yet to grow in. Let me show you Valor's. Okay, see this bulb, these heels are gonna keep growing up and keep pushing these cartilages up and out and back. And eventually,
big foot.
well, yes, he will. This cartilage will be more like this. See there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens as the heel is being replaced here, this will be like this. See there?
Mm-hmm.
The same all the way back, like so. And that's why I say, as the frogs get better, as the heels grow, you know, this cartilage is under pressure and the digital cushion is fat, it's under pressure and it's been pulled and pushed down under. And well, when that frog stay starts to grow and is starting to push all that back up, and it's wanting to go back up anyway. And you could come out one of these days and you're going to see your bulbs like out like this, and your heels are still going to be here. And you're going to think, oh no, what happened? My heels ran forward.
Yeah.
But that is not what happened. And you won't like the look of it because we're used to seeing this tidy foot image they put in our head. You know what I mean? Like what I was just showing you. And so, because, you know, once you trim the heels out, you ain't got to worry about run forward heels, right? You know? Yeah. But once you start growing those heels back in, then you're all freaked out about it. Oh, I got my heels to run forward. Oh, you know, can't worry about that because they will all come back and come in good time.
Cool.
All right. And so, let's see here. Are you understanding some of what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I understand all of it. It looks like he doesn't have that much more to go, that far to go.
Well, there's some to go back here. It's going to take another year or two. I mean, his foot will get better and better and better and better, but you know, it takes time for all this to fill in and for this cartilage to all get pushed up. Okay.
Yeah,
I know.
Of the front.
Huh?
Can you look at the sole pictures and the
let me
sighting down pictures with the frog?
Just a minute. Okay. Just a minute. Gotta take a drink of water. Okay. Hold on. Want to see if I can get a picture of this. I probably can't.
Yeah, I took a picture of it from my phone onto the computer. Thank you for that. That was pretty cool to see how far he can still go.
We'll see if this works. See how I don't know why it does that. See, it kind of messed it up. It won't take pictures exactly like, you know. So that really didn't do us any good.
Yeah, I took a picture of it. I'll send it to you.
Okay. Clear all drawings. All right. Let's see. Let's do that and let's move on. Yeah, see, because you shouldn't have that much bulb skin. See what I mean? This is all going to narrow up and come back, and yeah. That's probably why they come. Well, never mind. Okay.
Does the after look worse than before, do you think?
No, but what you got to pay attention to is these growth rings. Okay, see, you're letting this you need to take this back here. You need to look at it from in front. That's how I started doing it. And I knew that the shape of the foot was, if you look at an inner foot straight on from the head, it's going to look like this. Let me show you here. Just a minute. Annotate. Okay, you'll have to take
It's hard
pictures.
to see his growth rings that far down because I let a farrier teach me some stuff, and he wanted to, and he was really like energetic about it, and I couldn't see his growth rings down there because he rasped a hoof.
Yeah.
The outer hoof wall from the coronary band down.
Yeah, darn it. But you can see them now.
It's grown out that much.
See? Yeah. See, I see one right here.
Yeah, I see it too.
And you can see this one here. See it?
Mm-hmm.
There, let me undo this. Just a minute.
Gotta train my eye to see those.
Well, and you can draw them on there. Okay? See? Okay, this is what I want you to see. Now, see, I'm going to draw this one is about like so. Okay, what do you notice on that?
The medial side is way longer and
right. So what you come in here,
forward.
Yeah, see, the distance from here to here is greater than from here to here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you do then, and here you can really see it, where you didn't take any off. Just a minute. This is really important. This tells you if you're getting your pillars right.
Oh.
See, yeah, okay, see, because they're really hard to get. So this should be like this. See there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and over here, see, it should be a little less. It's widest here. And then it starts getting just a little less as it goes around the corner there.
So he probably would need some sole taken out too. I noticed his sole, like toe callus. I watched one of your videos recently and you said that toe has to be flat. His toe is not flat. It's got a bit of a bulge there.
Yeah, see, you need to learn to manage that sole and scribe around this whole front of the foot so that it is shaped like the internal foot. See, and you know, and then up here, what you'll see is it'll kind of go down a little bit, you know, when that relaxes. See how you're jammed up here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
See there? This is what it'll look like when it's done. And it'll all be flat and setting on the ground too.
Oh, good.
Okay, so that's why we pay attention to these growth rings. They really tell us a lot about whether we're getting our trim correct to fit that toe. Because when the foot grows forward, the foot grows down and forward anyway, right? And so you take the toe back, but if you don't learn how to take the sides of the toe back to fit the foot, inner foot, then you're going to get this square toe and you're going to get this imbalance here. See?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, did you take a picture of that?
Yeah, I did. I've been taking pictures on my phone, like each example.
Okay. So yes, let me show you, just a minute.
You said take the sides of the toe down? Or
well,
back
see,
and down, probably.
You should watch that video I did. I've just been really getting good at this myself. Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Good.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Because he does have a lot of
Leah and
salt
Tyler
in
are
there.
coming in tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's great. Hold on, I got to talk to my husband. Yeah, that's great.
Well, actually, they're coming in Saturday. I got to work tomorrow.
Okay.
Did I get a check this week?
It hasn't come yet.
All right. Well, Leah and Tyler are coming in this weekend, and I got to have a new bed.
Okay.
I feel like I can't sleep in this thing anymore. I'd rather sleep on the floor.
Okay. Okay. I'll get her fixed, okay?
Well, we got the money.
Okay. I'll get it fixed.
Get you one too.
I don't need one. I got the perfect mattress that I got from Little Toledo.
Well, I don't.
But I'll get you a bed.
I can't sleep on this.
Okay.
I can't sleep on this bed.
Okay. I'll get you a new bed.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, dear. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay. Oh God. It hasn't been easy for me either. I mean, I've been on these pillars and on them and trying to figure out how to, you know, trim around the front of that foot to make sure I'm getting those sides of the toe down correctly, you know. And I myself am just now getting it down. There's so many little parts that come together, but if you start using this hoof wall grid and tweaking your trim, see, it's like you might, let's say you came in here and you took this much off. Okay, see where it's jammed up here? You know what that's going to do? It's going to drop down like that.
I didn't realize that was jammed.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to look at the hairline. And look what hair. Look at where you.
I thought it looked okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, we don't
like,
unless we take pictures.
Like what I was looking at.
Yeah, but if you look at if you take pictures and then you look at the growth rings, okay, then you'll be able to tell more. But look at here, you took some of that down, and it looks like it already dropped down a little.
Oh, yeah.
See? Because it does not want to be jammed up like that. So that means that actually you're always a little high over here, and that's the way you naturally trim. You naturally trim so that you wind up a little high over here. Well, you know what? The horse is forgiving because God has built in a self-leveling system into this foot, because the wall is dovetailed to the sole. So if you leave it a little high over here, it will push up, and it will push all the way up. There's about, I don't know, 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch of give up here. See? And so if it's high, if the wall is high down here, okay, it will push up and level itself off here. Understand?
Yes.
Now notice how it's flaring out too.
Yes.
See?
It's jammed
Because
up as far as it can go, huh?
yeah, as far as it can go, and then when it can't go any further, then it starts to flare out.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay. So this is something you have to always pay attention to. Let's see here. Clear. Okay, now I'll show you. Well, let's go through and do your frog, and then I'll show you the grid I did on Valor the other day when I trimmed him. I've gridded both his back feet to see where I'm at. You know, the hoof wall grid, the vertical horn tubules. And, yeah. Okay. Clear all drawings. Okay.
And I had a question about the frog. When it makes ground contact, yeah, like a picture like you just were at, or that one too.
Before this one?
Did I lower the frog too far? Yeah, the frog. I feel like I lowered it too far.
No.
And now the frog stays not as wide, and the crack in the after is more of a butt crack instead of wide and open.
Well, all that's shown you is what's really there.
Well, my question is how
You're
far
talking
are you
about that?
supposed to trim the frog? Yeah, because the frog was like level with the heels because I let him go from like, March 20th was the last time I trimmed.
Yeah.
So there's that much frog growth, and then I cut it down to there.
Okay, well.
Is that too much?
No, that's good,
like
and you can even cut it more. Okay.
Really?
You want to trim up this periopal and really keep this frog trimmed up, because when the foot compresses, which your foot is pulled, the back of your foot is still pulled up under. You understand? Okay, and so it's going to be coming back. And so what happens is, because the frog corium is on that foot, and so when that foot is pulled under, it distorts that frog corium, and then that frog corium grows frog from the distorted position. And then once the frog grows from the distorted position, it also holds the foot in that position.
Oh, I see.
See? So you have to thin it down and keep all this heavy-duty periopal skin and frog cleaned up.
Yeah, I do the best I can with that. That's hard on my wrist, though. The knife work. Oh.
Yep. Oh, I know, hon. You know, but no, you did fine there. Don't even worry about that. You clean them frogs up good. Okay.
All right, good. I didn't know if I was doing too much or what.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. You're doing good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. You can go ahead and clean that central sulcus out a bunch more, though. Go ahead and get right down to clean frog if you can.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you did good. You're doing good. You straightened this out real good here. Okay, yep, you're just going to be...
Yeah, I see how it's ripping. It's moving so much, I feel like it's ripping. Like right at the...
right in here?
I wish I could play it with my finger. Yeah, right where you were.
Right here.
There, and like every time I trim, there's more periopal skin that needs to be cut off.
Yep.
And it peels off on its own.
Yep.
And then this, right here on the periopal skin going down the quarter wall, that line right there, it's like a rip in the skin.
Yeah, And that happened too. As I've seen that happens when you trim it out, and that happens when you're growing it in too. I found out.
Yeah.
That's pretty
cool. A lot of weird things have happened.
I know.
A hole in his soul one day, and overnight, new soul grew over it, and it was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, his foot. You're doing a great job. And yeah, you're going to find their feet go through all these weird changes. And some of them I've been like, I thought I was taking a step back, but instead it was actually a step forward, you know?
Yeah, it looked like I took a step back just in the before and after there. Like.
But you didn't. You're doing good.
Okay, that's relieving.
Yep, you just got to work on those pillars. Cause, you know,
and the growth lines. Growth rings,
Yep.
Thank you for showing me that. That was like the one piece of the puzzle that I was missing.
Good, yeah. Well, that's what we're doing is we're all just putting this puzzle together.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome.
Yeah, I started trimming my boarder's horse now too.
Oh, good. Good. That's awesome.
Yeah. I've trimmed him maybe, I think 3 times since, I think February or January. The end of January was the last time the farrier trimmed him.
Yeah. Is he a paint?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had pictures of him.
Yeah, the black and white paint.
Yes.
Do you want to look at his feet?
Sure.
If you have time?
Sure. Where are they?
The fastest you'll find it probably is on the forum.
Okay. Oh, I got 3 members I got to approve.
Cool. It's growing. I remember when I started, there was like usually 5 people in the chat.
Yeah.
Now I've seen 30.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. What will it be under?
My horse Cody and me.
Oh, well, here, you're right up
top
there.
One. Yeah, I just posted.
Okay, see, these are great pictures. See, you've come a long way. You know it? Look at this.
Oh, wow, I haven't looked at this in a while.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you have come a long way. See, you had a lot of foot trimmed out of this horse. And look at the frog stay was actually stripped out, and you just had this hollow, sucked out hole here where his frog stay should have been. So you have come a long ways.
His heels are so tiny.
Yeah. See, you about had that foot I was showing everybody. The one that they say is healthy, but it ain't.
Yeah, definitely.
And I had the same thing, so that's the image that was put in our head, right? I mean, look here.
I never knew about it until you told me that the farrier did his feet before I did.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
yeah,
same thing.
It took a long time.
Yeah, look, you have put so much.
Just like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at all the foot you've put back in that horse.
That's awesome.
And that wasn't that long ago. See? So you're making good time. Yeah.
Well, I've been at it for 4 years with this horse. 4 years I've been with you.
Yeah, well.
Lots of mistakes have been made.
Yeah, looky here. See? The whole back of your foot is different. See? Doing great. Yeah, well, you and me both, dear. So, okay, so that paint is on here too somewhere, huh?
Yeah, he's the second to last post.
Wow, you have been so faithful at taking pictures.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad we figured that out on your pillars today.
Me too. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I figured
here he is.
Out.
What?
I figured something out how to get a good side view, side shot, side picture.
How is that?
With it being the same angle every time.
Mm-hmm.
I take the camera and I make it misaligned with the two bulbs in the back. So I can see both bulbs, and then I line it up. And then as soon as it lines up perfectly, it seems to work.
That sounds great.
Just thought if anybody needed help, it helped me.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for that information. Because I really like to get a good side shot because it really shows the cartilage. Now, his foot, well, he's got a lot of the same stuff going on.
Yeah?
Well, I don't know why this is not.
Oh, it's highlighted.
There we go.
Click on it.
There we go. Yeah, he's got some foot binding going on there. You're going to have to really clean up his periopal as much as possible, okay? See back here? You know, so that his foot will start expanding more.
I did that.
That's good.
There, right there, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's the cleaner you can get these frogs and that periopal, the better. Thinning all that out down there really helps the feet expand.
Oh, he had a lot of frogs.
I bet he did.
It made it look like his coil grooves were really, really deep.
Now, was it you
who
broke your wrist? Was it you that broke your wrist? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
It still hurts.
Aw.
I think I overdid it when I trimmed 4 feet at once.
Yeah, you take care of yourself. And you don't have to trim 4 feet at once. You know, sometimes
I was
I'll just
doing like 2 fronts and then 2 backs.
Yeah. Now I got one other. I got one other guy I trim for, and of course I have to do 2 feet. But on mine, I got 4 feet at different stages, so I'm balanced.
Nice.
You know, he's got one done this week, one done next week. You know, we're at different stages.
Good to know. I didn't know you could do that. I thought I'd be unbalanced.
Not that bad. Not bad enough to kill yourself over. You understand?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing
now,
that.
Of course, I'm not riding Valor, so
yeah.
So that makes a difference too.
Guys.
He's out here in a soft pasture, which makes up for it. So
nice. Yeah.
He's just he's just the horse that gets trimmed now because I can't ride anymore because of my knee and some different things. So. But
I'm glad you still have him.
Oh, me too. I mean, he's my baby. So yeah, you got some foot binding going on here. Look at all that. See? Look at all that periopal back there.
It looks really like tight in there too. Like it's like a can foot.
Yeah. But the nice thing about it, he's got good sole and he's got good heels. You know? Yeah, just
got pretty good bars too.
Good bars, yeah.
I was surprised because the farrier barely touched his bars.
Yeah, I mean he's got a good strong foot regardless, you know. So
that's good. Yeah. He's pretty good on hard terrain and stuff.
And stuff. Yeah, just keep doing the same thing on him and thinning this out and keeping his frogs clean and paying attention to your whatchamacallit, growth rings for your balance around that toe.
Growth rings, yes.
You know.
Yes.
And you could see that little corner there? You can take that out.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That'll help straighten it out.
Yeah.
Is that what's holding that flare out there? Like
well,
not
you know what, that flare's there because this ain't his real heel buttresses. You know, and so if he's got one heel a little more
Really?
run forward,
Wow.
then you make the other heel just a little bit shorter. Okay? Because that'll balance him out when he set his foot
you
down.
just figured that one out, didn't you?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
noticed
let me
you were
show
talking
you.
about that recently. That I've been looking at that a lot.
See, I couldn't figure
That
out
was a good discovery.
what happened. Let me find this. Where is it? Now I got to think of where all my pictures are. Hold on here. Man, I forgot where I put my most recent pictures. Oh wait, okay. I know where I can find some. Okay. Is this it? That's not it. This is it. Okay. Okay, is it this one? Okay. Look at this. I'm gonna have to try and find my other last time I trimmed this foot and the pictures I took. Okay, because this is one of my worst feet. It is the left rear, and this heel has always been way run forward and this side way out flared like that, and just always bad. And so I took this heel down up almost 1/4 of an inch lower than this heel last time. Okay, but this heel was way run forward. And so in the meantime, since I trimmed it, all these horn tubules kicked this heel back up straighter. Now look, I haven't hardly nicked or touched the heels yet. I rasped this off, but I hadn't this because I was looking at this going, what happened? You know what I mean? Well, all these horn tubules kicked this heel back up, and that's why it's so much longer than this heel. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Kinda. I don't know.
So
It's
Linda.
new to me.
Yeah.
So now that heel's come back, do you want to take that down just a little bit to even up the heel?
Yeah, I did.
Or did you wait?
No, I did. I took it down. I was really surprised.
Okay.
You know, I was really surprised. Okay, so I was going to try and explain to Amanda. Okay, so if you have one really upright straight heel and you have one heel that is run forward at a lower angle, you know what I mean? And they're both the same length. All right. When you set the foot down, the side that is at a lower angle, that horse is going to be leaning over on that side. That side's going to be lower, even though the heels are the same length. So if you take the upright heel down a little lower, shorten the length, then that's going to help them stand more level. Well, if they're standing more level and bearing weight on the capsule more evenly, then this side has a better opportunity to straighten up.
Oh.
See what I mean?
Finally. My horse's fuzz looks like that now. Like, not the way like you trimmed, but like what you described, you know, really badly flared out on the lateral side. It's the back left also. And see, a little of the back right too. Yeah.
And so this side has been really bad, but now it has really come in a lot. See?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I need to get some former pictures. This is the foot. I don't know if I ever told you about it, how when I was still trimming to frog distortion, this frog had filled up the collateral groove and come over on the bar, and I didn't know. And I mean, I'm trimming the bar, you know, but the bar was totally cracked off, and I didn't even know it.
Oh, I
You
think
see,
I remember that.
yeah, and so I had to remove the whole bar.
Yeah.
And it took like 4 months, and then finally one day I came out, and there it just appeared out of nowhere. You know, I kept coming out and checking it. Oh, I hope that bar grows back. And then one day I come out, there it was. You know, and stuff. But the foot was way more asymmetrical than what you see here.
Great.
See, that's that side of that foot. You know, it just has always been really weird and funky. Yeah. Anyway, this was the last trim. See,
yeah,
started with that.
My weird and funky foot.
Yeah. See how much it can change. See, I had a lot of foot to work with, so I could take off a lot of toe and leave pretty good heel, and it really set the foot up just right. You know. So very, very happy with that. And another thing I found out. Okay, so
hold on.
Huh? Are you there?
I'm gonna take a picture of that. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm good. Yes.
Okay. So anyway, this was an interesting time. I did this about 6-7 days ago. Then I did the other foot, that one over there. But this foot, I don't know if it's this foot or the other foot, but I did a trim on it in 2017 where I did a video, a map and trim video. And in that video, I never touched the sole. I just took the wall down. And my dorsal wall was from the hairline to the toe, 3 1/4 inch. And all I had was like not any real sole there. And so then when I did this trim, I had to take down sole, and my wall from here to here is still 1 3/4 inch, but I have a whole ridge of sole in it. Do you understand what I'm saying? That even though the wall's the same length, the sole is completely different. And that's from getting heel. Getting the heel and getting the horn tubules lined up is what is helping develop the sole.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It grows from the.
So, okay, well, okay, Derek. Well, Amanda, do you have anything else you want to ask?
Yeah. Do you want to look at my wonky foot? My wonky back foot?
Okay. Yeah, let's look at your wonky back foot. This was my wonky back foot. Well, they're both wonky in their own way. You know.
Looks better than mine.
Okay, so where would that be? Would that be on the forum?
In the last post I did on forum.
Okay.
And Facebook.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Man, look at that.
Little boy.
You are detailed.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Is this it? Nope. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it? Are we on page 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is it. And which foot is it?
It's the back left, the white one.
The white one. This one.
The white one.
Okay. What is your concern about it?
It's pretty much the same as what you described your back left was. It flares out.
I'm on the
really
right foot. Okay.
And it even looks like it's starting to twist a little sometimes.
I'm still on a back right. What
right.
happened? Front right. There's the back left. You must have only took one picture of it.
No. Go to, minimize that.
Okay, here it is again.
Yeah, get out of there. And then, right there.
Okay.
Below your cursor.
Yeah, that's exactly what,
7 pictures.
same thing going on with mine. Okay, right
There
here.
should be 7 pictures of that.
Well, you got it going on with this one too, though.
I know, yeah. Not as bad.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
as you get the heel buttresses restored, that will start getting better. Because see, you're still really setting on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the main thing you got to do is you got to be cleaning out the back of that frog more.
Okay.
Okay, because that frog will hold that foot right there. Periopelan frog, you know, and if you can get any moisture to the feet, that's good too.
Good. But
I think
I've been flooded.
I think you've been doing that.
I've been flooding the water area.
Yeah.
Like almost every day.
Yeah.
So I have
And
mud to walk.
then you got to make sure you let that this part here grow.
Yes.
You know, but not
That's-
so high that, and if one is really more run forward, you shorten the other one just a little.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, and that way, you know, and the side here.
That's why it keeps getting worse. I keep shortening the flared side.
Yep, I did it too. I did it too. Because it looks the opposite when you got the foot in your hand.
Yeah.
It can look higher. And so then it gets worse and worse. See, I did the same thing. You know, it looks higher when you got it picked out. Picked up because this bulb is pulled down. See? And so that makes it look higher. But in truth, it's lower. When you set the foot down, this side is lower and that side's higher. So the horse is standing at an angle. So the weight, so that makes it worse because then all the weight is thrown over to this side.
Makes
Linda?
sense. And
Yeah.
Makes sense why his hocks turn in.
Yeah.
When he's just where?
Who is that?
It was Carrie again.
Hi, Carrie. Hi, Carrie.
Hi. So when I have my, you know, I have that half circle, the lines on it, what do you call it, a compass that we use for the measuring. So I line that up with the line that goes through the central sulcus of the frog all the way to the toe. And I hold that flat line, the straight side of it, and I keep running it, pulling it back towards the heel from the toe, and then I mark, and then I can see which toe is which heel is more run forward, because that is at a 90-degree angle. Do you know what I mean? It's staying straight on the foot. You line up the central lines of that compass as you're pulling it back. And then I mark which heel I hit first. And is that, I think that's always going to be my run forward heel. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what you're doing.
Yes, it is.
It is? Because what I'm doing.
It is, because that's how I do it.
Oh, okay. Because what I'm doing
So you
is
have
I'm just
a line
looking at
that
it.
goes laterally.
Well,
but we're not that good, Linda.
Well, the run forward heel is the bulb that is pulled down. And it'll be, it'll just have a different slant to it. One's real upright, and it's usually the side that flares out as well.
Yeah, I see it on Amanda's book.
You know, but as far as the way you guys are doing it,
I can see it on Amanda's.
You know, I'm not.
The way you were doing it, where you took the protractor
If you take your
and slid it.
Huh?
Yes.
I'm all confused.
If you slide the protractor
it's
down
the same
like
as what
you're doing, it will show you that your one heel is more forward than the other. And then as you lower the higher side and redo it with the protractor, you'll see that you can now have your heels at a 90-degree angle on both sides to your central sulcus line. And then if you hold a board to the foot while it's in the air, you can measure from the hairline down to the board real quick just to make sure you're pretty close. That's what I do with mine. I just hold a board up to the foot since the foot's in the air. I just hold a small, I have a board, it's, I don't know, 12 inches by 12 inches, whatever, 3/4 inch wood, and I hold it to the foot so it's flat against the foot. And then you can real quick take a tape measure and measure from the board to the top of your hairline and go, yep, I got it. Instead of having to sit the foot on the floor and kind of get down there and look at it and do all sorts of crazy gymnastics, which I'm too old for. I just hold a board up to the foot. I just hold a board up to the foot now and just go, okay, measure real quick now. Did I do it right? Yeah, I did. Now I gotta still take more.
So
you could probably do it with the compass too.
Yeah,
you don't even have to use a board.
Good. Yeah, I just use a board because, you know, it's just a small board because I use it to stand them on anyway when I take pictures because the floor seems to be all wonky and the mats and whatever. I just like standing them on a board now. But what you were doing with the compass, I tried to explain to Linda a couple weeks ago that
and
you can tell if you don't have that cross, that 90-degree angle cross from heel to heel.
Okay, I see what you're
with your
saying
central
now.
sulcus.
Yeah.
It should be a perfect 90-degree angle to both heels coming off your central sulcus.
Yeah.
If they are at the same forwardness or backness or whatever you want to call it on the foot.
I understand what you're saying now.
Now, if you put your, if you hold it and it's not at a 90-degree angle, then one of them has to be run forward and one's further back. It's just mathematics and geometry.
So one is trimmed out more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's it too. That's part of it too. That heel is trimmed out more. See? And so as the heels get trimmed out, it pulls the bulbs down and under. So that bulb is usually, you know, lower on that side too.
Yeah, I see that.
Who just drew on the screen?
Not me.
I did. I don't know how, but I did. Let me see if I can erase it. Wait a minute.
Oh, that was
clear. Yeah, it was me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm about ready to call it a night unless there's something really pressing. Was there somebody else that really had something serious they needed me to look at?
Can I ask you a question about the periopal, cleaning it off back there? Do you guys use a file or a knife for the most part to scrape it off?
I use a knife and I also use my grinder.
Oh, I haven't got to the grinder thing yet.
With the flat, I found this nice little grinder and I use a flap disc sander.
That would probably be easier on my wrist.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, you know, do you just take the least abrasive side of your file to it?
I've never done that. I wouldn't. In fact, I wouldn't want to do that because I'd be worried that I would rasp off some heel. You know, so
yeah,
use a knife.
That's exactly.
Yeah, I would use a knife before I would do that.
Yeah. It gouged right into the heel.
Yeah. But
I tried with the rasp like Riza showed, and the periopal was just too soft. It wouldn't rasp off decently, so I just used a knife.
Okay, I didn't know Riza did that.
It's on his videos where he showed how to trim the periopal with that wicked sharp knife that he's got.
Oh yeah, well, and he's in Africa where it's very dry, so I imagine you could rasp off some of that periopal like that, you know.
So you guys just use your knife. That's what I was figuring to do it.
Yeah, I just use my knife or the flap disc sander. And if you decide eventually you want to go with the sander, or like I have a Proxon too that I use, you can also use a Dremel. Then you want to make sure you wear a mask. Everybody's got them now, so that's good. But you want to wear a mask. A good mask, you know, dust particle, because I had a friend who did that grinder trimming for years and she died of lung cancer due to it. She wasn't a smoker or nothing. She breathed in that dust for years. Jamie was her name. And so make sure you wear a mask. That's nasty stuff. Okay. Well,
no, I haven't
know a trimmer
decided
that
that my
ended up
horse
with
is
a
going to take kindly to a Dremel.
oh, I had two people talking there. What? About a Dremel?
They'll get used.
I said, I don't think my gelding's going to take too kindly to a Dremel yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to work my way up to that one.
Okay, but you'd be surprised how these horses will take to a grinder on their feet. It is like amazing, you know. It's amazing how they will let you grind their feet when they won't let you use a buzz, cut their mane. It's weird. I don't know what it is, but a Dremel isn't too noisy though.
Linda, thank you for tonight.
Oh, you're welcome.
This was a great class tonight. Thank you so much. It gets better and better every week.
Well, thank you for being here. Love everybody being here and all the different horses, and just want everybody to be successful. We've been jacked around, all of us.
Thank you for looking at
Thank you very much.
Well, you're sure welcome.
Good night. Take care.
Everybody have a great week. Happy trimming. Stay safe. Blah, blah, blah.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, stay healthy, everybody.
Thanks, Linda.
You're welcome. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, Randolph.
Thank you.
Our resident.
Thank you, Linda.
Good night. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
I just have to figure out how to get out of here. Let's see. Stop share.
Thanks, Linda, for looking at
You're
my
welcome.
horses.
Bye,
Thank you.
Amanda.
Bye. Great
Bye.